Good morning, students. I hope so everyone is good and everyone is fit and fine. So we are meeting after a very long time, and after the revision session we are starting with this new chapter today, which is from the subject civics. So this is lecture 1 from chapter number 7, Outcomes of Democracy, class 10, subject civics. So in this particular subject civics, in the previous chapter, we have studied about political parties. So there are various political parties and how they work, how they don't work. There are number of consequences that they face. In this particular chapter, we'll study about what are the major outcomes of democracy is. So the form of democracy that it is, how it is useful and how it is not useful for major reasons. How we should utilize democracy and what could be the possible outcomes from a democracy we can get. We'll study that in this particular chapter. So there are few instruments and assessment that how we can judge and how we can get that how what can be the consequences or outcomes from a democracy we can get. So there are different consequences and different variety of options and assessment tools that we can judge and how this democracy works in some political outcomes like accountable, responsive and legitimate. Then in economic outcomes are there, social outcomes are there. Then there are a lot more things in this chapter about these uh, economic outcomes. Then there are social outcomes. So it divided into these three categories mainly. So we'll study that today. The first part, that are the political outcomes, we will discuss it. So let me just tell you the topics what we are going to study in this particular lecture. Just wait a minute. Yes, so these are the topics to be covered in this particular lecture. First of all, I want to give you an introduction about this chapter, what this chapter is all about. Then in this lecture, the topics that we are going to discuss are how do we access democracy's outcome. How you can access the democracy's outcome is one of the biggest question here. That here on what basis you can do that. So there are three categories: political outcome, economic outcomes and social outcomes. So today in this lecture we'll discuss about the political outcomes, which are accountable government, responsive government and legitimate government. So these are the three political outcomes on which we can access or we can see how these particular democracy works in on the terms of political outcomes. Okay, and I will assign you one homework too with this particular lecture that you have to do. So please be ready with your notebook, your book, in which you are going to mark these lines and you are going to write your notes, and with the pen as well. So be ready with everything you require. Now we can start with the lecture. So first of all, I want to give you a quick introduction about this chapter. So in the previous chapters and your previous class 2, that you whatever you have studied about democracy, we are going to expand it in this particular chapter about the outcomes. Now we have discussed what does democracy do. Now what outcomes we reasonably expect from democracy. Matlab, what you expect from a democratic country. What are the major things that you are expecting from a democratic country? Also does how democracy can fulfill these expectations in real life. So whatever you are thinking in about democracy, that if democracy will be there, we can do these things or we can do that thing. Are these expectations can be fulfilled in real life too, whatever you are thinking. Like we begin by thinking about how to access the outcomes of democracy. After we have got our independence and after we have got a democracy, our constitution set up, we always thought about that everything is going to be on places and everything is going to be in our favor. And whatever we are going to think, it is going to just come up. Everything is going to be as what we are thinking, but it is not like that. Like after some clarity on how to think on this particular subject, we have proceeded to look at the expected and actual outcomes of democracy in various respects. So whatever you are thinking that democracy can actually provide you, and what are how you are implementing it. We are implementing democracy in a lot different ways. So what we are expecting and what are the actual outcomes a democracy is giving to a country is totally different, and we can verify them, or we can judge them on the outcomes that the democracy is giving our country back. So the quality of government that is coming up, what kind of quality of government we are having currently, the economic well-being is good or not, and inequality and social differences is how much they are and how they are keeping a scale on it, that it is covering or not. Then the conflicts that our country is having with the religious, caste and every other category. And finally the freedom and dignity we are having. So are we actually free, or our dignity is at pause, or it is very much given to us with great ease? So all these things we are going to discuss in the outcomes of democracy, that what we are expected and what we are actually getting out of from a democracy, with the outcomes of democracy, what could be the possible result. Basically outcome is what could be the possible result from a democratic country. Whatever constitution, whatever laws we are applying, is it working properly, or whatever things are there, we will discuss that only in this particular chapter. So let's just start with the chapter. So first of all, in this chapter they are saying that democracy is better than dictatorship or any other forms of government. So whatever monarch system was going on previously, or any other form of government that was there prior independence, is that was better, or the democracy that we are having, it is better? Obvious reasons are there. The democracy is much better than any other form of government, or any better than dictatorship or any other form of government. How? These are few of the points that I can tell you, that how democracy is better than dictatorship or any other forms of government. First of all, firstly, it promotes equality among citizens. So if you will be following any other form of government where there will be bias towards one particular person, and one particular person, religion or caste, whatever you can think of, and they are not giving away the equal rights to everyone. But in democratic rights, they are giving equal opportunity and equal rights to every citizen in our country. So basically democracy is better because first of all it promotes equality. Obvious reasons are there that democracy is always giving us equality among citizens. Then it provides methods to resolve conflicts. So if there will be one particular person who is going to make decisions for everyone. Here there is no discussion is there, or he is not listening to any other person. He is just making his own decisions on the conflicts that is having in his country. That is the kind of a monarch system or a kingdom system that was going on before. But in a democracy, a lot more discussion happens on these conflicts, how they can resolve it. So democracy actually provides certain methods. They provide methods where they discuss about certain things and they resolve these conflicts which are there in your country. It could be anything, like any issues like poverty, then religion differences, a lot more differences conflicts are also there in our country. So for that they provide methods. They provide methods to resolve these conflicts. Then another point that we can add on here is that it enhances the dignity of an individual. So obvious reasons are there. If you are free, you have equality in terms of every term, like job opportunity, or in caste system, in religion system, and everything. That enhances the dignity of an individual, where you are treated with utmost power. You are not less than anyone. So this actually enhances the dignity of an individual. Then it improves the quality of decision making. So there is not one person who is ruling everything. There is a lot of other persons, and they are basically using which we have studied earlier also, that they are using a decision making body. There is not one person who is making decision for everyone. There are different bodies who are utilizing their power and making the laws for everyone. with discussing with each other. So basically it improves the quality of decision making, where you can discuss about the problems, where you can make the laws by discussing it, that you can implement it or not. It depends on the people, assigned people. It is not dependent on one person, it is dependent on people, dependent on the ministers, leaders, legislative department. Everyone is involved in this. Then it provides method to resolve conflict that I just told you. Then it allows room to correct mistakes. So basically it more or less allows a particular section where you can correct the mistakes if something is not working properly. So they can discuss that in one particular stage and they can rectify them with discussing with each other. So always they are inviting that things are not working out, they can correct their mistake by resolving it, by discussing the things in that particular room, and they can correct their mistakes here. So these are the possible outcomes, or we can say that, I can say that, how democracy is better than dictatorship or any other form of government here. So these are few of the points. If you want to write an answer, you can elaborate them too in your own language. Now we are moving towards our first topic. How do we assess the democracy's outcomes? So how can we assess? Assess means we have to study, analyze them, on what aspect there can we assess the democracy's outcome. So we know about the how democracy works and what democracy do. Now what are the possible result or outcomes a democracy gives us, on some possible tool, on which tools are particularly there in our country, on which we can judge or see about these outcomes of democracy. So if you have remember how students in Madam Langdon's class argued about democracy, this was there in chapter number 2 of class 9 textbook, and it emerged from that conversation that democracy is a better form of government when compared with dictatorship or any other alternative. I have already discussed this with you, that how they are doing. So it promotes equality among citizens, enhances the dignity of the individual, improves the quality of decision making, provides a method to resolve conflicts, and allow room to correct mistakes. So we have discussed all these points. I'm not repeating it again, but it is also one of the part of this chapter. So and it is one of the important ones. So please do read this chapter and study about this thing. Moving forward, now how these expectations realize under democracy. So how you can expect all these things, on what criteria we can apply, what are the tools that we can use to assess these democracy's outcome. So when we talk to people around us, most of them support democracy against other alternatives. So if you talk, like if you do a survey also and you talk about that, do you want one monarchy system, or do you are happy with the democracy, this democratic policies and everything? So most of them support this democracy against any other alternative, such as rule by a monarch or a military or a religious leader is better than that the power is shared among every other individual. But not so many of them would be satisfied with the democracy in practice. So they are not much satisfied because they are not getting that proper results that they were expecting to. So they were expecting something that this democracy can give them, but they are not completely getting the result from this democracy. So they face a dilemma that the democracy is seen to be good in principle, but felt to be not so good in its practice. Like it sounds good that we are living in a democratic country, but the outcomes that we are getting, or when it comes to in practice, when it that process is in action, it is not the same as it sounds to be. So basically the dilemma that democracy is always facing, that it seemed to be good in principle sorry, but failed to be not so good when it is in practice. So this dilemma invites us to think hard about the outcomes of democracy. Always that is there, that every person before independence want that we should be free, we should be have our individual rights. Then our constitution came and we became we have this democracy system in our country. So democracy was seen very good in the starting as a principle, but when it was applied it felt to be not so good in its practice. So this dilemma invites a lot. They think hard about the major outcomes of this democracy. So do we prefer democracy only for moral reasons, like we are happy to be the citizens, we have to happy to be like following the democracy purposes, and we are happy to have our own rights in action. If we see that we are not actually getting the proper rights, or it is not actually being properly applied, or are there are some traditional reasons to support democracy too. There are a lot more things that we can expect from democracy, but they are not properly aligned. They are not properly aligned that it can give us a proper result. What you expect and what you're getting, it is never going to be the same. So better we should give some time, and we should see a little things, that little changes that is coming with this democracy. And if people are questioning it, if people more or less people are questioning it, that's a sign, that's the actual sign that it is kind of working. Because people are expecting more, like you want, like I'm just giving you one example here, that when you were small, you wanted a 5 rupees chocolate, and when your parents have given you that, you were happy. Now you have seen that your friend is getting 10 rupees chocolate. Now you are expecting from your parents that please give me one 10 rupees chocolate too. So your expectations are increasing. You are not satisfied with what you are getting. You are seeing that in other countries, like just checking it, that your friend is getting a 10 rupees. Now you want that. So your expectations are never fulfilled. You are getting one thing, you are greeted. Now you want another thing. So basically your expectations are eventually increasing by timingly, and now it has been a long time. So the expectation level is too high that a democracy level could not fulfill it entirely, and we should not even expect it that it should change the entire scenario as a whole in one time. It is eventually going to take time. So we'll discuss that about the outcome. So over 100 countries of the world today claim and practice some kind of democratic policies. As you all know that most of our countries are following these democratic policies only. They have formal constitutions, they hold elections, and they have parties, and they guarantee that rights of citizens should be given. So while these features are common to most of them, these democracies are very much different from each other in terms of their social situation. So their economic achievements and their cultures, clearly what may be achieved or not achieved under each of these democracies will be very different. But is there something that we can expect from every democracy just because it is democracy? So more or less I have just explained you that all of the country is following one of the same norms that we are following, that they are forming the constitution, they are holding elections, they are having parties, they are guaranteed to have the rights of citizens. While these features are common in most of them, but the formulation of these democracy policy will be different in terms of different situations. In terms of social situations, it will be different, where you can analyze how accommodation of these social diversities are there. Like mostly in India, there is a lot more social diversity any other country could be having. So it is a different situation from India and other countries that are there. Then the dignity and freedom of a citizen, a social citizen that a person should get, is different in our country, and it would be different in other countries too. Their economic achievements and their cultures, the political outcomes, all these things are relatable here. So clearly what may be achieved and not achieved under each of these democracy will be different in different categories and different outcome status. So is there something that we can expect from every democracy, but just because it is democracy? What does this question just, they are saying that is we can expect from democracy that whatever things any people is saying it should be there in our democracy. Is it there or it is not? We'll discuss it later. Like our interest in and fascination for democracy often pushes us into taking a position that democracy can address all socio-economic and political problems. Like majorly our interests are basically our I just told you one example. It is relatable to that only, that it is a fascination for democracy, that we are there, it is there in our head, that we are expecting a lot more from this particular policy, which we should not. We should give at least some time to implement these things, because obvious reasons are there. Whatever we are wanting, whatever things we are wanting, we are greeding things. One thing is fulfilled, we are back to another wish that we need these changes here. So it pushes us into taking a position that democracy can address all socio-economic and political problems or not. If some of our expectations are not met, अगर वो पूरी नहीं होती हैं, so what we basically do, we start blaming, we start blaming the idea of democracy, that if anything is not working, we are not getting whatever we want, or whatever things is not working properly, poverty is there and people are not getting job, we are just blaming the government, that because of this government or because of this policy it is not working. So we start doubting if we are living in a democracy or not. Like we are not getting a proper rights, we are being like pushed into this situation, we are not equal, we are there are a lot more like socio-economic problems that come into our head. The first step towards thinking carefully about these outcomes of democracy is to recognize that democracy is just a form of government. If you should not start blaming the things, you should know about the things, it is just a form of government. Who is going to implement it, what could be the conditions on it is being applied, it is farly going to be different. Like it can only create conditions, basically it is just only going to create conditions for our country, that how it is going to work and on what things it is going to work for achieving something. So the citizens have to take advantage. We should know how we can implement these conditions that have been made for us, and how we can take advantage of these particular conditions and situations and achieve those goals. So if there is only few opportunities that is there in your head, you should be able to take advantage of those situations and conditions and achieve those goals according to you. So let us examine some of the things we can reasonably expect from democracy and examine the record of democracy here. First is the political outcome. So for the first thing from a political outcome that we are going to, it is divided into three categories. I just told you: political outcomes, economic outcomes, and social outcomes. So what we are going to study from these particular outcomes. First, in today's lecture we will discuss about the political outcomes. I just told you about accountable government, responsive government, and legitimate government. So what does these three categories have? We will discuss that. And in economic outcomes, we are going to discuss about the economic growth and development and the reduction of inequality and poverty. Then in social outcomes, we will discuss about accommodation of social diversity and dignity and freedom of the citizens. So in these particular three categories, we are going to discuss these things and discuss about the outcomes of democracy here. So we are going to start with accountable, responsive, and legitimate government. So there are some things that democracy must provide. Like obvious reasons are there, that if we are living in a democratic country, so there are certain conditions, certain things that are made, and they are basically providing us those rights, and those laws are implemented because we want them. So in our democracy, we are most concerned with ensuring that people will have the right to choose their rulers, and people will have control over the rulers. So as we have the particular right, and we can ensure that the people will have the right to choose their rulers, and we have the right to control over the rulers too. So whenever possible and necessary, citizens should be able to participate in decision making. So accountable here means that you have the particular right, you can participate in decision making body that affects them all. Whenever elections is happening, so we have the power, we have every power to change the government anytime we want to. It is not that if one government is not working properly or they are not implementing democracy policy at most power, we have the power to change it. We have the power to change any laws that have been implemented with, if we are together, if we are participating in this decision making body, we can change any particular law any particular time. So basically, the most basic outcome of democracy should be that it produces a government that is accountable to citizens. So mostly, the first thing who could like basically give the results of an outcome of a democracy is that the government need to be accountable to the citizens. How they are basically letting these people know, and on what basis that there should be some person out there whom they can tell about their queries, tell about their problems to. So they should have certain people around them. So the government that is accountable to the citizens, that they should give answers, that when they are going to solve their problems and when they are going to rectify them, who is going to listen to them. So there should be people who should be accountable to the citizens, then responsive to the needs. So there should be some people who should clarify their doubts. Another thing is that who is going to fulfill their needs, who is basically going to help them out to resolve it. One person is basically listening, another is helping them out, and expectations of the citizens are way more there. So before we go into this question that we face, another common question is: the democratic government efficient? Like, if democratic government is efficient enough to accountable all these things, is it effective? And some people think that democracy produces less effective government. So like some people think that just because of the constitution that we have, the democratic government that we are having, they are not producing well enough laws and well enough effective government that it should be. So it is of course true that non-democratic rulers do not have to bother about deliberation in assemblies or worry about majority and public opinion. So they can be very quick and efficient in decision making. So उनको इतना पूछना नहीं पड़ता एक दूसरे से कि हाँ ये करना है वो करना है, वो डिसीजन लेते हैं किसी से बिना कुछ पूछे और वो अपने डिसीजन ले लेते हैं. But here in democratic government, they have to see every part of the things, like every caste, every religion, every area, every aim, like this state. They have to think about everything. They have to like the public, what public is going through, what public opinion should be. While making decision making body, they have to go through every aspect. जो भी उनको मतलब problems होते हैं, जो भी सारी necessary things होते हैं, they have to go through everything before implementing anything. So democracy is based on the idea of deliberation and negotiation. Basically, they are going to discuss it as much and they are going to think about every possible outcomes कि मतलब अगर ये चीज हम कर रहे हैं तो इसका इफेक्ट किस किस पे क्या क्या पड़ेगा. They have to think everything and they have to negotiate also that कि things should be worked properly or not. अगर वो work करेगा तभी वो implement करेंगे ना. So some delay is bound to take place. Obvious reasons are there that if you are making a decision for everyone out there, not for just one, you are just not making it like a law, like if you implement करने के लिए, you have to think a lot. So there will be delays in bond that is going to take place. Does that make democratic government inefficient? Let us think in terms of cost. Imagine a government that may take decisions very fast, but it may take decisions that are not expected by the people and may therefore face problem. मतलब आप पहले उन्होंने आपने सोचा गवर्नमेंट ने जल्दी जल्दी डिसीजंस ले लिया अकॉर्डिंग टू ली, लेकिन बाद में वो वर्क नहीं किए, लोगों को प्रॉब्लम होने लग गई. तो बाद में प्रॉब्लम होने से अच्छा पहले उसको अच्छे से डिस्कस करके उसके सारे आउटकम्स डिस्कस करके उसके बाद उसका इम्प्लीमेंट करना है नहीं करना वो सोचना इज बेटर देन ऐसे ही डिसीजन लेना इज बेटर. ऑब्वियस रीजंस आर देयर कि वो दूसरा वाला जो पहला वाला चीज है वो बेटर है कि हम उस चीज को पहले सोचे, अच्छे से सोचे, उस चीज के बारे में हम डिस्कस करें, डिबेट करें, उसके बाद हम डिसीजन ले. दैट इज अ बेटर ऑप्शन. So like people have the right to choose their representative and control them in accountable government. The citizens have the right and the means to examine the process of decision making here, and they have the right that they can practice and institutions like regular, free and fair elections and open public debate here. The citizens have the right to information about the government and its functioning. And the contradiction to all these things is that democracy produces a very less effective government, and in democracy decisions are delayed. What in accountable government they are saying. But the justification that they have given is that some people think that democracy produces a very less effective government and other forms of government do not have to think about majority opinions and deliberations. But democracy keeps in mind both. So hence it cannot be called a less effective government because democracy is based on the idea of deliberation and negotiation. So some delay is bound to take place and decisions may be both more acceptable and more effective, and the cost of time that democracy pays is perhaps worth it. Now look at the other side. We are going towards the responsive government. Like democracy ensures that decisions making will be based on norms and procedures. So there are reasons that the democracy is ensured on the basis of that decision making is based on the certain norms and procedures that they have to follow. So citizens who wants to know it is a decision was taken through the correct procedure can find this out. So whoever citizens who want to know about a decision who is they are taking place, they should go through the correct procedure where they can find this out. Like she has the right and the means to examine that the process of decision making is it should be transparent, and this factor is often missing from a non-democratic government. Like in decision making body, everything is very transparent. These assemblies have a public opinion, like जो भी laws वगैरह बनते हैं तो ये लोगों को दिखता भी है कि वो मतलब कौन ये कैसे लॉज बन रहे हैं, कैसे वो उस चीज को एग्जीक्यूट कर रहे हैं, कैसे इसके ऊपर डिबेट हो रही है, सारी चीज ट्रांसपेरेंट होती है इन डेमोक्रेटिक गवर्नमेंट. बट इन नॉन डेमोक्रेटिक गवर्नमेंट इट इज देयर इन वन स्मॉल क्लोज रूम जहाँ पे इसका कोई डिस्कशन नहीं होता, वो अपने आप डिसीजन लेके वो बाहर बता देते हैं. बट इन अ डेमोक्रेटिक गवर्नमेंट दे हैव टू शो देयर शुड बी अ ट्रांसपेरेंसी. So therefore, when we are trying to find out the outcomes of democracy, it is right to expect democracy to produce a government that follows all the procedures and it is accountable to the people. So basically here they are trying to find out the outcomes of democracy where there is right to expect democracy to produce a government that follows all the procedures and it is accountable to the people. So we can also expect that the democratic government develops mechanisms for citizens to hold the government accountable and mechanisms for citizens to take part in decision making whenever they think they can fit in. So basically they are saying that in responsive and responsible and responsive to the needs and expectations of the people, they are promoting the formation of public opinion. Like public opinion should be there whenever they are making these laws and just whenever they are like implementing the democracy policies. So they should have a keen interest over the public opinion, what the public thinks, and the care they should care about the public opinion too. So the democracy is attentive to the needs and demands of the people, and they are expected that the democratic government is largely free from should be largely free from corruption and often sensitive to the people as well. So basically here they are saying that if you want to measure democracies on the basis of this expect outcome, the responsive government, you would look for a following practices institution where you are thinking about there should be regular elections, there should be free and fair elections, open public debate should be there on major political and legislations, and citizens should have the right to information about the government and its functioning. So the actual performance of democracy shows a mixed record on this. Democracies have had greater success in setting up regular and free elections and in setting up of conditions for open public debate. But most democracies fall short of elections and they provide a fair chance to everyone and in subjecting every decision in public debate. So what are the contradiction to this they are facing is that most democracies fell short of elections and they provide a fair chance to everyone and in every decision to public debate. Now, these democratic government do not have a very good record regarding sharing of information, but they actually have a transparency too when they are making these laws. But they doesn't have that particular like good introduction that these democracy government do not have a very good record regarding the sharing of all the information with them. So the justification that they are given them is that all one can say that democracies have greater success in setting of regular and free elections, and it is much better than any non-democratic regime in these respect. So basically what they are saying that in non-government policies they are not giving away any sort of things, they are just providing these similar things, but in democratic government they are electing the elections, they are giving the thing, they are like having free and fair elections. So it is a much better than any undemocratic regime on these aspects. So this democratic government do not have a very good record when it comes to sharing information with citizens. All one can say that they are favor of democratic regimes is that they are much better than any non-democratic regime in this respect. So in subsequent terms, it may be reasonable to expect from a democracy a government that is attentive to the needs and demands of the people and is largely free of corruption. Now, the record of democracies is not impressive on these two counts. Like democracy often frustrates the needs of the people and often ignore the demands of the majority of its population. So here they are saying that the routine tales of corruption are enough to convince us that democracy is not free of its evil. At the same time, there is nothing to show that non-democracies are less corrupt or more sensitive to the people. The legitimate government, like in the legitimate government, we can examine that the democracy is a government of the people only. Like the majority party or the group of political parties forms the government. Whenever possible necessary, citizens should be able to participate in decision making that affect them all, and it generates its own support to itself basically. So there is one respect in which democracy government is certainly better than its alternatives is that the democratic government is legitimate government, like where the power is not in the hand of one person, it is divided amongst everyone, and uh, it is basically for the people. It is involving the citizens, it is involving the people only. It is not one particular person who is doing everything. Many people are involved in decision making and they respect each everyone's opinion. So it may be slow because of that they have to like listen to everyone's opinion and everyone is involved in this decision making. So it is a little less effective and not always very responsive or clean when it comes to like defining these things. But a democratic government is people's own government. That is why there is an overwhelming support for the idea of democracy all over the world here. Like as the accompanying evidence from South Asia shows that the support exists in countries with democratic regimes as well as countries without democratic regimes. So people wish to be ruled by representatives elected by them. So obvious reasons are there that you wanted person to be there on that position who is going to rule you. You want your representative elected, not any other one. So you are going to support your own one. So the contradiction that they are having is that the democracy often frustrates the needs of the people and often ignore the demands of the majority of its population, and they are routine tales of corruption which convince us that democracy is not a clean and responsive government. They have this thing in their head that they also believe that democracy is suitable for their country, but their ability to generate its own support is itself an outcome that cannot be ignored. You cannot ignore certain things here, but it is their contradiction that they are having in their head is that they are routine tales of corruption which convince us that democracy is not a clean and responsive government here. So, but the justification that they have given us is that the democracy may be slow, less effective, not always responsive and clean, but it is people's own government. They have the one who have elected them. They have the one who have given the representative to the government. So it could be a slow, it could be little less, but the evidence that they have given that in the South Asia democratic regimes show that the democracy is a suitable government there, because they are resolving a lot of conflicts. They are having the proper decision making body, and the people have the right to change the government, change the representatives into their own terms. In other countries it is not there, and especially in the South Asia, they are having a lot more parties involved. Like they are having multiple party system, and in other countries, many other countries, they are having two party system or one party system. So obvious reasons are there that in mostly in South Asia, democratic regimes show that the democracy is a suitable government here. So that's it for today's lecture. If you have queries, please let me know in the online class. And the homework that I want to assign you in this lecture is that do the following questions. First is, how is democracy a better form of government in comparison with other forms of government? We have discussed it in the starting. So you can you have to elaborate this answer in your own words. You can take the points from there. Then question number 2, examine the political outcomes of democracy that we have discussed today. So you can write down that too in your own language, and let me know in the online class that whatever you have understood or not. You can let me know your queries, everything, whatever it is there. And if you are finding any problem with the lecture or homework, please let me know. That's the only thing that I can tell you to today to do. Please do your homework and submit it on time. Please take care of yourself. Thank you so much for listening to this lecture. Please, bye everyone. Take care.